Hey, it's Patrick from JMP Cycles, and this is our walk around of our 2020 Iron 1200 Sportster. I'm a huge fan of Sportsters, but here at JMP, we normally kind of extensively modify things, and this bike, I don't think we really went too far at all. This is definitely something you could modify in your garage at home with hand tools and come out with a really great build. Pretty much everything we did to this bike not only enhanced the aesthetics, but also the performance on kind of every level. So we'll walk you through some of the modifications we did to get where we're at. And most, if not almost all of these, we have installation videos available, so I'll link you guys to those. Like I said, this is a totally doable build in your garage at home that's really gonna add to the looks and performance of the bike. Let's talk powertrain. Now right away, we went with this kind of classic teardrop from S&S. This is the mini version, which I really like. It's about 15% smaller than your classic teardrop. And then we also added the S&S Super Street 2-in-1. Now a couple of things. The iron paint scheme has kind of the classic AMF inspired paint on it. So I really liked the classic teardrop with this, and then matching it up to a 2-in-1 worked out great. Not only do these things look great, there's two really important things to point out. These are both carb compliant. So if you live in a state or a place where you need to make sure you're compliant, this is a carb compliant pipe and a carb compliant intake. And we tuned all of this with a Vance & Hines fuel pack. Now, the boys at S&S tell us that we get about 11 horsepower gain. So a bike that starts out making about 59 horsepower makes about 70. It's quite the improvement on this bike. We're really gonna feel that in the seat of the pants. So powertrain-wise, really dialed in with the S&S combo and the fuel pack. Now, we couldn't leave well enough alone on the suspension. The folks at Legends came through with some Revo A's. We did raise the ride height just a hair on this bike, but when you set the sag, it comes down to a nice spot, and it also gives us some much needed adjustability with the clickers there on the shock. So Legends has us dialed in, have this thing railing through corners like it's supposed to. Of course, it's a Sportster. We want to ride it like we stole it. Going from suspension kind of to body position and controls, we changed the seat. Actually, the seat that was on here from Harley was not a bad looking seat for a stock Harley seat, but it was still a stock Harley seat. This Revere line of seats from Mustang, I really, really liked. And not only is it just a badass looking seat, it added some red stitching in here as an option. And this isn't a special order seat. You can get the red stitching straight from Mustang. And man, a seat can really change the look of a bike. This really sharpened this bike up. The red stitching was a nice touch, just with a little bit of red on the tank. Mustang seats are super comfortable and they look really sharp. Gives a nice custom look. So the seat really, really adds to the aesthetics of the bike, but it's gonna keep you comfortable also. Down in the foot peg department, it just had some plain Jane black pegs on it. Ness has their MX line of pegs, which you can get in different colors, gold, blue, and red. Again, I didn't want to go over the top with color on this bike because it has this blacked out look from the factory, which I kind of wanted to keep. But the red touches, again, really kind of work with the paint scheme here, and that Ness MX peg actually gives you a wider area to put your foot on. Another comfortable touch there, keep you in control of the machine. We did leave the stock bars on this bike because that's kind of the aesthetic we were going for. I didn't want to change too much about the overall look of this bike because it kind of has a style all its own, and we wanted to just kind of enhance that and not really run away with it. These Ness Airtrax grips were just what the doctor ordered. It's not over the top, it's not a huge blingy thing. Feels great, looks great. Another added bonus there in the control department. Now, lighting. Lighting to me is like almost a must do on bikes anymore, especially with the Sportsters that come with incandescent lights, right? I mean, that's pretty old technology. So we went with the ProBeam stuff on the turns and brake lights in the back and in the turn signals in the front. What we get out of that is LED technology, very, very bright. You're gonna be seeing way better than you normally would have. And we left the red covers in the back. It does have like the LED circles back there. In the front, man, I tell you what, if you're gonna run stock signals, those heinous orange amber covers up front just are god awful. So the ProBeam stuff allowed us to go to this smoked cover, and then the running light is a white ring LED setup, and then it flashes amber. So super functional and really put us over the top in the looks department, and getting away from those terrible incandescents that are like that heinous orange is a must. And then continuing on, we have a Kuryakin Orbit LED headlight. Much brighter than stock. It's not the Orbit Prism because I didn't want to get too crazy with the lighting, but man, LED headlight makes all the difference in the world. So like I said, not a huge amount of installations went into this to make a really nice build. To finally cap it off, we took off our orange reflectors off the front. Little things like that make big differences in kind of the look of the bike. In fact, we were looking at it after we took the reflectors off the front, man. We said the wheels actually look better without the reflectors up there. It kind of just brings that blacked out look all the way through the bike. Overall, like I said, for what I considered a light build, this thing turned out great. I'm a huge fan of Sportsters. Everybody should have a Sportster in their garage. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop us a comment and go ride those motorcycles.